One day, it was boring to be alive. The magic had vanished in a mist of dead wives. The smoke of death's cigarette alone had survived. Her dying grew bitter and smoked in his eyes. She was as gentle as a slug of sweet wine, as loving as the milky handshake of the blind, as knowing as the balding barker at the fair. The sinks and drains now hold her hair. They found him drunk on the tile, his clothes in a pile, his gun by his mouth in a kiss, his body listless as artifice. 2 bullets made a gaping wound in the ceiling of the bathroom. It is the autumn of my fear of being alive and alone. My wife, who was my candle, is now death's discolored bone. I, who wrote 6 novels, am a soft, unpublished moan. When he woke, he screamed for Mum and checked into a sanitarium. When he saw what it was about, he changed his mind and just walked out. Arriving home, he renewed his lease, fed his cat, and thanked the police. Every day it was boring to be alive. The solace had vanished in the hiss of the mind. The smoke of death's bourbon alone had survived. His thoughts shrunk to rubble and stoked his demise.
Without contrition, egregious black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and fracture the crystalline trees. Without conscience, disorderly black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and scratch the ingenuous sky. Without remorse, pedantic black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and spill the upper boulders in the sun. Without shame, incendiary black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and append the tenebrous dusk. Without thinking, outre black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and petrify the involute world. Without regret, audacious black squirrels inhabit Upper Michigan and unionize the local rodents. The bungalow was unlocked. The screen door was unhooked. The trout on the counter was deboned. The deciduous trees were in a state of virtuous uncertainty. Fallow thoughts bubbled into the blistered brick, a stew of insuperables cooked on the portico by the balustrade. Tenement emotions befogged the windows as they encircled the balding home. The lawn wept in its insolvency. Once, in a fit of pique, she poured vinegar on the anniversary roses, which withered in his seeing. In retribution, he became incontinent. That made her, she who misunderstood love, love him more, and him, he who misunderstood marriage, respect her less. Is there a recipe for lasting happiness? Look, perhaps, to applesauce, the apples of attraction, the sugar of indulgence, the water of conduction. Everything improves over time. Everything. Everything in the world. Except the orphan garden. Except the consolidated body. Except last week's fruit.
Larry works the concession stand near the pier. He treats his younger brother like shit. One time Frankie sat on a bench in the sun for 3 hours waiting for his brother to get off work. I still dream about Frankie's sunburned shins. Man reached into the carcass of the Lord and tore Satan from the rib of God. The mountains of humility went silent. The rain of regency dried its eyes, and the clouds of unknowing began to know. Snow, masquerading as kindness, ballooned into bombast as the world washed its hands of worldliness. Then, indifference, stiff as a wombat penis, stirred and woke from the dream of cascading penury. I am imbricated by the slabs of dead ideas. I am teased by vaults of no gold. Ghosts hold me to votes I disavow. There is a formidable hole in the latent sky. It takes all my strength not to worship it. A month after the Mumbai hotel attack, my 3 brothers, acceding to my mother's wishes to forgo further treatment, arranged for a medical van to transport her to my sister's house in South Jersey, where we all stood around her bed like dullards in a maze. This is an act of love, they said. And I thought, well, if this is love, then everything is love. We were all there, the dowdy, robust husbands, the infirm wives, the incendiary kids. At the final moment, she sat bolt upright, her bloodshot eyes bulging, her jaw jutted forth in a crazed look of anger and confusion. Then, as if in slow motion, she fell straight back against the high stacked pillows and receded like a wave, bleeding back into the ocean.